Hey y'all, it's Brijin. I am the museum stitcher here on Flosstube and also on Instagram. Welcome back if you're a returning viewer. I'm so grateful that you continue to watch my videos and interact with me and that you'd want to spend some of your stitchy time with me. And if you're new here, I am your friendly neighborhood museum professional who cross stitches in literally every spare minute of her time. And this is my channel where I talk mostly about cross stitch, but also about other crafty things that I get up to. I'm also a quilter and a crocheter and an amateur seamstress and all of the things. I love a variety of different crafts. So I hope that you see something you like and that you subscribe or like or comment down below. I love reading you guys' comments, and this channel is growing pretty quickly. I have some books to talk about today, so there's also a little bit of book talk if you like reading. Yeah, so let's talk about what we have in store for the video today. So I've got a full roster of things. I have an FFO, a finish, some new starts, and some whips. I have the tiniest amount of haul that mostly is just fabric. We have giveaway winners to talk about from my 1K subscriber giveaway in my last video, or 1.5K subscriber giveaway in my last video, which we will do toward the end. And then I have a little question for you guys. So let's get into it because there is quite a bit to cover. So I wanted to start off the video by asking you guys for a recommendation. So I'm going to be traveling at the end of the month to visit some family in the Pheonix, Tempe region of Arizona. And as most of you know, when you're a crafter or a cross stitcher or whatever have you, an excuse to travel is also an excuse to get to go to a new LNS or a local needlework shop. So if you have been to the Pheonix area or you're from there and you have an LNS that you'd like to recommend, let me know down in the comments below because I have some time to go check out some needlework shops. Or if you're a quilter too and you know of any quilt shops there, I don't have any fabric stores here around me that aren't just like a big box store like Joann's or Hobby Lobby, and so I would love to go to like a local fabric shop that has like, you know, more relevant fabric collections. I'm saying this weird, but you guys know what I mean. So leave me your crafty store recommendations and I will definitely check them out. So I am thanking you guys in advance for that, and I will share where I end up going in my next Flosstube video. Okay, so beyond that, let's get into some stitching, shall we? So I have one FFO, which if you are not aware is a fully finished object. It's where you take your cross stitch and you turn it into something. And I have been sitting on this piece for about 3 months now, I believe. And I finally got around to fully finishing it. And here it is. So this is the Bookhouse by Stone Street Stitchworks. And I am so happy with it. I started this on March 3rd, which was actually a family road trip. This was my car stitching for the trip, and I finished it on March 17th. So this pattern took like absolutely no time. It's pretty small. And I stitched it on a 16 count aida that I dyed myself using walnut crystals. I'm so sorry for the glare. There is glass in this frame. But I did my own custom conversion on all of the colors. So as called for, the house is like a dark blue, and then there's like various shades of mauve and purpley reds. I think I haven't looked at the called for this one in a really, really long time. So I did this little like autumnal olivey gold situation, and I'm absolutely obsessed with how it came out. So if you're interested in the conversion that I did for this one, message me and I will find it. I have it written down in my cross stitch planner, but I'm not gonna take you through each specific number of DMC. Although I do know off the top of my head that the greens in the house are DMC 832 and 831. So the old memory is working pretty well today. So this is just a standard 6-inch frame that I got in like a 4-pack off of Amazon. And I was cleaning some stuff out earlier in the week and I came across these and I was like, you know what? I think that would fit this thing perfectly. So it's just laced in here with the normal back on, and I think it turned out pretty great. So I'm excited to actually be able to display this and use this around because I really, really love the quote, and yeah, I think it turned out pretty good for just like a random FFO that I felt the need to do this week. Yeah, and my lacing technique is actually getting better. I'm getting pretty fast at it, and it's honestly, I think, a little bit easier to lace than it is to hot glue. If that's controversial, I'm so sorry. But I've tried both methods, and I feel like I get better results with the lacing. Like, it's more even, and I'm able to make the ends more straight. And I mean, I'm probably a little bit off spacing wise in the frame, but I mean, I did this in like 30 minutes, so it is what it is. But yeah, I love this, and I think there are like 3 or 4 other major floss tubers that are stitching this. But I mean, what's so cool about it is that the tree is books. These are open books. I did leave out some of the back stitch that was in this, but I think it turned out fine either way. So yeah, really old finish that's finally fully finished, and I'm super happy. Okay, so finishes wise, I had a big finish in the last several weeks or fortnight since I've seen you. And this is partially due to the dropping of the new season of Stranger Things. I finally got caught up, and I got some good stitching time in, and I got a finish, which is great because I also had some new starts. What are you gonna do, right? It's my crafting, I can do what I want to. So I finished Tequila by Stitchrovia, which I think turned out amazing. This is on a 28 count lugana, Ivory lugana by Fabric Flair with all of the called for DMC. I started this on February 22nd, which was National Margarita Day here in the United States, and I finished it on July 2nd of 2022. Now, I did make one omission on this pattern. So this floral banner that's up here actually repeats underneath the word tequila, but I didn't think the pattern needed it, and quite frankly, I needed the win of a finish because I was starting to get a little overwhelmed by all of the whips that I have not touched recently. So I got really good progress on this. Since my last video, I had only done up to lime, I believe. So I went ahead and finished, I think I had the shot glass done as well. So I went ahead and finished all of the words around the shot glass, and then this tequila, it doesn't look like it, but there's a lot of stitching that goes into each one of those letters. So that took me like almost a day just to do that. So what's interesting about this piece is I actually tallied up the total days that I worked on it in 2022 since I started it, and I only worked on this piece for 16 days. So I think that really goes to show how much I could get done if I was a monogamous stitcher. And some of those days I worked on it all day. Some of those days it was just like 30 minutes. So I find that really interesting. I don't know. I don't like track my stitching religiously, but I'll go through, and on my Whistle Stop digital planner, it's got like a little calendar where you can highlight the days that you worked on a specific piece. And I am trying to keep up with that. But yeah, I'm really happy to have this finished. And to get another one off of my whip pile. Of course, I immediately started some other things, and so the slot in my whip rotation has been taken up. And I got smarter about using my design board. See, I used the clips this time. Much better than my last video. So I have an idea for a fully finished on this one. I am planning on mounting this on some sticky board, and then mounting that on a larger piece of sticky board that has some limes themed fabric behind it, and then finding like a charcuterie board or a paddle or a block or something that has a handle and mounting it on there and kind of putting a big bow on it or something. It's going to hang in my parents' bar area. So that's my FFO idea. I have not figured out exactly what board it's going on yet, so I need to do all the measurements and the things like that for it, but I'm happy to have it done for now. This was a piece that is just so fun, and it's so summery. Like I said, that I've been in a real summer stitch kind of a kick recently. Okay, so let's do new starts, I guess. That sounds good. Well, it better, because it's my channel and I'm gonna do it. Okay, so new starts, I had 2. So I did mention earlier, I've been feeling a little overwhelmed by my whips because I keep starting all the new things. And I still continued to start things even though I was feeling overwhelmed, because I've had these patterns in my kit pile for a while and I've been really wanting to start them. So I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I started them. So I'm sorry. I do have a plan to touch some of my older whips that haven't been touched in a while and pick those up in the next few weeks. So I will get that under control, but I felt like starting new things, so I'm gonna do that. So this start is very exciting. I have been talking about this, I think, ever since I started my Flosstube channel. This is Miss Bingley's Library by Plum Street. Here's a picture of what it's gonna look like. I finally picked my fabric on this one and just dove in and started it. So here's where I'm at. We'll just no further ado it. I got really far on this. So I started it on July 2nd. This was my reward for finishing Tequila. I immediately turned around and started this. So this is a 36 count limited edition coloring cotton linen that is absolutely stunning. It is the perfect grayish, like brown gray. It's amazing. I love stitching on it. I think all of my colors are doing pretty well, and it's all of the called for Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colorworks in this one. So I'll get you up a little closer. So I did choose to stitch the Union Jack as called for, but I do have like 8 other planned changes for this pattern, and I have marked all of those up and I have them ready to go. So basically, right over here on top of this little chimney, there is a stack of books and then a woman. So I have kind of changed her up a little bit. She now has a ponytail instead of a bun, and she's going to be carrying her coffee cup on top of the stack of books instead of in her opposite hand, just because that way none of the pattern is hanging over the side of the house, so everything stays in line with the house, and I liked that better. I've also added a row to the roof line so that it overhangs on both sides. In the pattern, it's asymmetrical, and I wanted it to be symmetrical. And then I've completely rearranged the quote because in the pattern, the word excellent in I shall be miserable if I have not an excellent library is chopped in half, and I don't like how that looked. So, and I found a way to add in Jane Austen's initials, my initials, and the year that I'm stitching it, in addition to 1813. Which was the year that this quote came out in Pride and Prejudice. So I've like I said, I've gotten pretty far, but there is a lot of fill-in on this piece. So I'm working on mapping out the boundaries of all of the fill-in right now. So like I've gone through and mapped out the bowl, I've mapped out the whole roof line, I've mapped out the sides of the house. So I'm going in and adding in the windows on this roof line. Then I will add in the windows on the house and sketch out the bottom there. And that way I can just go with my roof color, with this bowl color, and with the actual house color. And then I need to go through and add in my quote as well. But for like 5 days of stitching on this, I've gotten really, really far. I'm thinking this is going to be a good travel project just because it is so much fill-in. But I've never taken 36 count on a plane before. And I'm not quite sure how easy it's going to be to see the holes in like a poor lighting situation. And this fits really well in an 11 by 11 Q-snap. I have plenty of room to end off my threads without feeling like I'm too close to my Q-snap. But I don't know that I want to travel on a plane with an 11 by 11 Q-snap. That seems a little unruly. But if I put it on something smaller, I'm not going to be able to do my entire line fill in on the roof. You feel me? So I'm still figuring out what I'm doing here. But I love this pattern, and I'm so glad I started it. So thank you, Stitchy Twin, Seattle Stitcher, for showing it on your channel and enabling me to buy it and start it myself, because I am loving every single stitch that I have been putting in on that piece. And I had one other new start. This one was kind of impromptu, kind of not. I've been on a 46 count linen kick, okay? I have another piece that's on 46, and I'm loving how tiny the stitches are. And so sometimes when I just want something kind of tiny and cute, and I want to practice seeing on a higher count of fabric, I'm finally getting to the point where I don't need my magnification when working on 46 count, which is exciting. So I started this because I wanted to. No other reason. This is Rejoice Evermore by Brenda Gervais with dye needle and thread. And I think this pattern is really, really beautiful. I'm so excited to be stitching it. I started this yesterday, which was July 8th of 2022. And I'm doing this on a Leo and Roxy fabric. I'm doing an entire Leo and Roxy conversion on this piece because Evertote, the shop in Canada, was selling kits with like their conversion, and of course I'm gonna buy Leo and Roxy floss. I would much rather do that. And this piece has like 18 colors or something. So like doing a conversion with that many felt like overwhelming for myself. And the colors that they've chosen for Leo and Roxy are absolutely beautiful. Here they are. I've put mine all on my Adam Heart cross stitch thread hearts because I break paper tags if I use them. And these are all of the Leo and Roxy floss colors. I did make an error in my kit parade. I said that these were pre-cut flosses. I was wrong. I was not aware. So here's what I used. This is a floss winder from Stacy Stitch's Creative Studio. And this is their 18-inch length one. It cuts thread lengths that are 36 inches to stitch with, which is great if you're doing the loop method. For me, I just pull it off and cut it in half, and then I can go on stitching one thread on 46 count. And this tool is an absolute must for me. If you like to pre-cut your floss, look into these babies. The quality is unreal. And what you do is you wind it on there, and then there's a little notch right here where you slip your scissors in to cut. It makes it super easy. I have like 3 other floss winders that don't have that, and I don't use them anymore. So those are the threads. I have this in a project bag from Evertote that I bought as well that is absolutely amazing. Their quality is great. So you probably want to see what the stitch looks like now that I've talked about it for 80 million years without showing you anything. So here's where I got to. This is Porcelain Linen by Leo and Roxy, again in a 46 count. And this is the entire border on the first page plus some. So it's crazy to me that basically from here over and from here up is a page, a whole page, and it's like 3 by 5. This piece is like 250 stitches square or something like that, something around there, and it's going to come out to be only about 10 inches square as a pattern, which is insane for how big it is. So yeah, this is the border. I started in the top left. There's going to be like these little strawberries that fill in there, but I wanted to get the outline of the green done. This is a Mad for Minders needle minder that I absolutely am obsessed with for this piece, and I'm probably going to stitch on this for a couple more days and then kind of see what I'm feeling. Obviously, this is not going to be a travel-friendly piece with the 46 count. It's just not. But I am really loving the stitch so far. The Leo and Roxy flosses are gliding through like butter. I'm trying a new needle too. This is an Edcom 28 needle, and I like it so far. It's got the gold eye like the Pat Carson's used to. I'm still trying to find my favorite needle. So far, I don't like John James. I find it really hard to thread, though maybe I'm just getting the wrong kind of John James needle. I just didn't enjoy working with it, and I'm liking Peacemaker's size 28 as well. The only downside with my stitchy journey is that I got into cross stitch on projects that need a size 28 needle after Pat Carson stopped making, or after the label that was doing Pat Carson stopped making size 28. So I wasn't able to get a pack of 28s before they were all gone. So I still have some Pat Carson size 26 and size 24 that I'm hoarding like a dragon, but I digress. This pattern is beautiful, and I'm really excited about getting it started. So my goal is on my next video to have no new starts, okay? No new starts July, the rest of July, okay? That's, hold me to it, Flosstube, okay? Hold me to it, because I'm starting all the things and it's too much, but I also can't stop myself. Someone send help. Okay, so let's talk whips now. I've got 3 whips to show you. So, okay, what I found hilarious about doing Flosstube is I've been tracking my stitching a little bit better because I'm having to show it for you guys, so I'm like making notes about what projects I'm showing on my Flosstube videos. And on my last Flosstube, it lasted like a whole hour because I had like 15 projects to show you. Like I was switching projects like every 2 days. I didn't realize that I was doing that, that I was rotating so quickly. Like I thought I'd probably work on like a project for like a week and then I put it away and work on a new one for a week. It was like 2 days. it was really like 2 days. So this time, over the last 2 weeks, I've made a concerted effort to work on fewer whips and work more on them. So I've only got 3 to show you, but I think that will be fine. So my first piece is my Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is their Charity Pride stitch along that's running through the end of the summer, I believe. I don't know that I'm on track to finish, but I do have quite a bit of progress in on this one, and I think it's looking pretty good. So I'm doing the monochromatic version. There's also a full color version that is absolutely stunning. It was just all the fill-in in the center kind of freaked me out. So I'm doing mine on a 46 count Over the Moon linen by Colour Cotton with Forbidden Fiber Co. Dark Cherry as my floss. And here's where I'm at. So the last time that you saw it, I had finished this quarter minus this motif here. So I filled in this motif and started working my way down. This is the bottom of the pattern, so this is the full height of it, and it's a square, so this is basically the whole size of it. And I also went through and added this little heart. I am saving the words to do at the end because I love doing words and it's kind of keeping me motivated to keep working on it so I can get there. But I realized if I did the entire outer border before doing the words, I'd have no earthly idea where the top of my piece was, and I didn't feel like getting up to grab my water-soluble pen or my air erase pen. So I just stitched this little heart, and now I can tell what direction is the top. I thought that was pretty ingenious, or lazy, however you want to look at it, but I love how this is looking. Again, this is the 46 count that I started with that kind of has spurred me to get really into 46 count recently. So I'm loving it. I think it looks great. I am really enjoying this stitch. It's really nice to like put a length of thread in it at night before I go to bed, just so that I'm like continually getting progress, but I'm not getting burnt out doing monochromatic. But I also have a lot of pieces that have a lot of color changes right now, so this is kind of soothing to go back to after doing that. Yeah, so there's that one. And let's do this one next. So this is the Bookcase by Galliana Cross Stitch, and I had grand plans for this over the last fortnight that completely fell apart. So I guess let's do project details and then I'll tell you. So this is on a 36 count Highland linen by Picture This Plus, which is a gray, yellow, green mottled fabric. And the floss that I'm doing my bookcase in is Colour Cotton Black Walnut. Yep, that's the one. And then I am doing a conversion of all of the knickknacks and books on the shelves in other DMC colors. So this piece, I told myself that I was going to start a morning 25/7 project, completely forgetting that I am not a morning person. I am the kind of person that sets 25 alarms and I snooze every single one of them and wake up late anyway. That's me, okay? I'm being completely honest and vulnerable with you guys right now. I really tell myself I'm gonna wake up, and how nice would it be to like spend 30 minutes in the morning like getting my head right and working on this project that's really big and just getting like a length of floss in every morning. Like I'm gonna get so much done on it. It's gonna go by so quickly and it'll just be like so like zen and meditative, and I'm gonna love it. I can't wake up for shit. I can't. I try so freaking hard and I can't do it. So I did this for 2 days of morning 25/7, and then I haven't worked on it since. So there's not a lot of progress on this piece since you've seen it last. Basically, what I've done is I stitched from, okay, so here's the page finish. So I'm working on page 2. So I went in and did all of this here, all of this here, and all of this here. So it is like a good chunk of the stitching, but I really wanted to be like halfway done with page 2 by now because it's been 2 weeks and I only worked on this for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So anyway, I'm disappointed in myself, but I just can't do it. I really tried. And I love this stitch. It's Stitches by Shelby. She finished hers and oh my gosh, it's stunning. It's beautiful. She did a rainbow conversion on her bookshelf. Oh my gosh, there's one piece of my bangs. She did a rainbow conversion on her bookshelf, which is awesome. And I'm really pumped to get to my knickknacks now because like I want to see it all come together on this fabric since it is like a custom color conversion that I did for myself. But I made this project bag and I think it looks great. Yep, I quilted it myself. And I only have one more whip to show you. So my final whip is my Summer Quakers. This is the stitch along that I'm hosting with my stitchy twin, Megan Babauta, the Seattle Stitcher. And Alexis, my amazing world, has also joined us, and she's stitching it along with us. And I'm obsessed with the two of them. I love them. If you haven't watched their channels, what are you doing? Click out of my video, go watch them. I love them so much. So I am doing mine on a 28 count coastal linen by Picture This Plus. Megan is doing hers on the Called For Truffle by Picture This Plus, and Alexis is doing hers on a 28 count blush by Be Stitch Me. I think I got that right. And here's where I've gotten to. This is with the Called For Valdani floss. Again, I have these on Adam Hart floss drops. She makes the best floss holders, I swear. They're so good. So I've gotten quite a bit done on this one. I've almost touched this. Okay, no, that's a lie. I have touched this for like 8 days in the last 2 weeks. So I have gotten quite a bit done. So when you saw it last, I had this bird motif finished, and I had partially done this little circular motif. So I went in and finished it, and I put in the Algerian eyelets, which are fun. And then I went over and finished this little guy, which, okay, when you look at the pattern, this little guy looks straight up orange. But I double checked my floss colors, and I double checked Rosewood Manor's website to check for pattern corrections. And it's done in the correct colors of floss, which are these like pinks and purples. But on the pattern, straight up looks orange. So, I don't know, but this is what I did. And then I went over here and finished this motif, which took a while with all of the different leaves and all of these vines. I've been calling this the antlers motif because I think it looks like antlers a little bit. Then I went over here and did these random bits because I had a length of the pink still on my needle. I went and did these two, filled these in because I had thread on my needle. I am working motif by motif on this piece. So regardless of like a page finish, if the motif bleeds over on the next page, I'm going to do that and then go back to page 1. So that's what happened with this motif here. Part of it's on page 1 and the rest of it's on page 2. And I think on page 1, there's a little bit of a motif here and then some initials, but I'm waiting to do the initials in the year until I'm finished with the piece. So basically this is a page finish, okay? This motif down here is very large, and so I've been a little hesitant to start that yet. I think my plan is going to be to work all the way over to the edge of the piece and then work my way down. So it's kind of hard to see, but this is backstitched crisscrosses inside the basket. They're not showing up the best on this fabric, but everything else is showing up really, really great on this super, super summery fabric. And I am absolutely obsessed with this stitch. The 3 threads of the Valdani, it's a little bulky and it's a little hard to work with, and like my back feels really puffy, especially because you have to start and end off so many threads on each motif because of all the color changes, but I think it's going to be worth it. I still think I'd like to get halfway done with this pattern before the end of the summer. I think that might be an achievable goal. We'll see. But yeah, this is a focus piece for me. So that is my last whip of the week, to quote Pam and Steph. Okay, I wanted to touch on Jolly July stitching because I know everyone and their mother is stitching Christmas right now. And I wanted to work on one of my 2 Christmas whips for the month of July because I have one Christmas whip that's quite large and I'm quite behind on the pattern releases. However, I'm having a bit of a crisis with it. So it's my Days of Christmas Samplers by Hello from Liz Matthews. I had chosen to stitch mine 1/1 on 32 count linen so that the entire piece with all 12 of the samplers in one grid would be about 12 inches square. And I am hating working on the 1/1. And I've sunk a chunk of time into this piece, but I haven't finished the first day yet. And with having 11 more samplers to fully finish on this piece of fabric, if I'm not enjoying stitching on it, I think I'm going to stop it and restart it, even though that kind of like hurts a little bit and it's going to be quite a bit bigger. Like even if I do it on a 46 count fabric, it's going to be 17 inches square. But I think it might be worth it to actually enjoy my stitching process. So, okay, so here's my problem. When you're working on 32 count 1/1, my NPI threads are slipping behind the threads of the linen. So it makes my stitches look like really messy and like they're not there. And then on top of that, my stitches are so small that they look like little puffs. You can't see the full X. So it's almost like hiding all of the work that went into my project. Like it's not looking neat and finished. And I know that my stitches aren't the best by any means. I'm still a newbie stitcher. I'm still getting better. But I do think my stitches look better than what this piece is making it look like. And on 46 count, the X's are tiny, but they still look like X's. And the piece still looks like neat and finished. So I'm thinking I'm gonna DNF it and restart it. But my issue is that I have to find a fat half of a 46 count, and I'd love to do it on Porcelain by Leo and Roxy because I think that color is stunning. The linen quality is amazing, but unfortunately they're not offering fat halves of that piece yet. Because if the whole piece is 17 inches square, I can't use an 18-inch wide piece of fabric. You know what I mean? Like I can't give myself a half-inch margin on that piece. Especially considering how big it is, I probably want to mat it. I'm not sure. So anyway, that's why I haven't done any Christmas stitching yet, and that's why I probably won't. I might pull out my Woodland Wonder by Glendon Place, but we'll see. So if you guys have any tips for 1/1 stitching that might make it easier, might make me change my mind, let me know. Or if you know of any fat halves of 46 count out there on the internet, let me know, because I'd love to do Flannel Flowers by Fox and Rabbit, or Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim, or Porcelain by Leo and Roxy, but I don't know. We will see what I get into as that gets closer. It's just, I don't want to sink any more time into that project until I'm like 100% decided what I'm going to do. But I've been having this urge to restart it on an over 2 fabric for about like a month and a half now. And I think I just need to give in since I still have so much of the piece to complete. Okay. That's enough of that. Let's do the tiniest bit of haul, and then we'll do giveaway winners, and we'll talk about what my next giveaway is going to be, okay? I think that sounds pretty good. I don't have a whole lot of haul today. I've been really, really good. Now, I did make some purchases, but they have not arrived yet, so I can't show you. I'm looking at you, Alexis, when you texted me and caused me to purchase a lap stand, okay? It happened. And I'm really excited to show you guys when it comes in, but she knows what she did. Okay, so let me grab it and we will do fabric. Okay, so my fabric of the month club that I'm in right now is the, bangs, they're the best and the worst. It's the Court of Thorns and Roses, which is the book series, fabric club by Fangirl Fibers. I get her 28 count even weave. She only offers a 28 count or a 14 count right now. But it's a mystery fabric every month, and this month is really, really pretty. Like, I'm thinking it needs to have a mirabilia on it. This is the House of Bone and Salt. Oh my gosh, it's picking up great. This is so beautiful. It's this gorgeous peachy color that's got pink and orange and yellow modeling. And her even weaves, they do come out really, really soft, and they are really, really nice to stitch on. I just wish it was a 32 instead of a 28. That's it. So that's that. I get this once every month, and I'm really enjoying all the different names of the fabric. I think I have one of them in a piece right now, and I have plans to put another one. I have a planned planned project to go on another one. I just haven't started it yet because I have random starting goals, okay? It's not lining up yet. I also got my very first order of the Stitch Me fabric, which, oh my gosh. So I participated in my first Friday Night Fight Night, just as a way to try out her linen before I decided if I was going to sign up for her club or buy more fabric. And I happened to be on Facebook the night of a Friday Night Fight Night, but it was like 2 hours after it had started. So I was like, there's going to be nothing left that I want. Like, I missed it, but I'll look through and see just in case. And there happened to be 2 cuts of fabric that I had my eye on in a 36 count and a 32. So I bought them both, and yeah, I was the one who won them. So my camera hates this fabric, but this is pink chocolate. This is the 36 count linen, and it does not look at all like what you were seeing. Let's see if I can, no, it looks straight up brown to you guys. It is a really pinky purple in person, but the modeling is amazing, and this fabric is so freaking soft. Like it feels like a Colour Cotton fabric, but it looks like a more intense Picture This Plus, and I could not be happier with it. This is making me really, really want to sign up for her Fabric of the Month club, and yeah, I think that might have to happen. So I got the same color, pink chocolate, in a 32. I'm thinking my Autumn Queen by Mirabilia is gonna look really, really pretty on this one when I get up the courage to start that. So yeah, first Be Stitch Me pickup, and I am not mad at it at all. So then my final thing is I got 3 cuts of fabric from Hollis Hands Creates, and this was inspired by my Stitchy twin Megan. She got some Picture This Plus Nessie in her last video for a project she's starting, and I thought it was beautiful and I had to have it. So I bought a fat quarter of 40 count Nessie from Picture This Plus, and it is absolutely stunning. I don't know what I'm gonna put on it yet, but I will figure it out. And then I've been wanting to try Fox and Rabbit linen. So I got a fat quarter of 40 count eucalyptus, which is so pretty. So just for reference, here's the Nessie and here's the eucalyptus. So definitely more green, but they're both in like the bluey family. So those are really, really pretty. And then I got a cut of 46 count saltbush, which is a really unique fabric. It looks kind of khaki on camera, but in person, it's like the most unique muddy green brown. I don't know, it's really different. It's not what I was expecting it to be, but I'm kind of excited. There's definitely something that's gonna have to go on that. So I got those, and that's the end of my haul. So like I said, I was pretty good. I just got a couple cuts of fabric, that was it. We'll talk about my other purchases as they arrive, but what are you gonna do, okay? Okay, so let's talk giveaway. Let me grab my giveaway items. Okay, so I had 2 giveaways in my last video to celebrate reaching 1,500 subscribers. So again, thank you all. I really am, I'm blown away, I'm grateful, all of the things. So let's talk about who won what. So my first giveaway was a partial kit. This is the Owl Forest Embroidery Coffee Sampler with Owl Forest threads. I destashed this from my recent kit parade because I want someone to actually stitch it and show it some love, and I don't really have any plans to stitch it. It's really pretty though, and whoever is the winner, I really, really hope that you like it and that you share with me your stitchy pictures so I can stitch it through you instead of just staring at it all sad from my little pile. So let's see. For coffee, 86 of you commented using the word coffee in the last video, and the winner is Katie West. So if your YouTube name is Katie West, please email me below or reach out to me on Instagram via direct message. My email is themuseumstitcher@gmail.com. Super easy. Send me your address and I will get this shipped out to you. So congratulations, Katie. The other giveaway was a fat quarter of doubloon linen by Picture This Plus in a 28 count with a Rosewood Manor chart, and the code word for this was gold. 97 of you asked for this one, and the winner is Karen Ross. So congratulations, Karen. Please email me or DM me and give me your address. So both of you have 2 weeks from the publication of this video to get a hold of me, and if I have not heard from you 2 weeks from now, I will pick new winners in my next video filming. So congratulations. Thank you all for participating and for subscribing. We will do another giveaway at the 2,000 subscriber mark, which is coming up rather quickly. As I last checked, it was about 1850. So you guys are amazing. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe and get us up to that 2,000 mark. It's going to be a really exciting giveaway. There might be some Atom Heart floss drops. There might be some Tiger Lily project keepers. There might be some sewing patterns donated by a really, really awesome person. So What are y'all waiting for? Don't do it too quickly because I still gotta prep, but yeah, so that'll be the next giveaway. So as far as the rest of the episode is concerned, I've got a couple Flosstubers to share with you. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I have a couple Flosstube accounts to share with you, and then I have a little bit of book talk. So I will do my Flosstubers, and then after that, if you're not interested in books, then I will see you next time. So let's talk about Flosstube. So I wanted to thank the people who have shouted me out in the last couple of weeks. It's still so surreal that some of you Flosstubers watch my videos. Like, I'm blown away. So the 20-minute stitcher Heather, she has an amazing Flosstube channel. Like her name suggests, her videos are about 20 minutes, so they're really, really easy to binge. I've watched a lot of them already, probably too many. But Heather is so, so kind, and she actually commented on my last video where I talked about seeing the model of Halloween Quaker by Lila Studio. And she was like, let's stitch it. And then I think she was just kind of being lighthearted about it. And then I had commented on her most recent video that I impulse bought everything to do it. And so now I might have roped her into a stitch along she wasn't ready for. But Heather's great. Go check her out. And I think we're going to be stitching Halloween Quaker in the autumnal season as that comes up. So be on the lookout for that. Although my 123 stitch order hasn't shipped yet, so we'll see. Yasmin's Made with Love gave me a shout out. Her channel is great. She is not a stitcher from the States. I believe she's in the UK, but she has these gorgeous projects, and she's so, so sweet. Like, I want to just give her a hug. She did these really great summer pieces that she customized, and they're like little pillow. They're so cute. So go check her out if you have not already. Floss and Coffee gave me a little bit of a shout out, and she's a fellow Texas stitcher, and she has an Etsy business where she makes backing boards for cross stitch, which are gorgeous. And one day, if I stitch a small enough piece, I will get one of her backers. But unfortunately, all of my whips are large, so I haven't quite found anything that will fit on her pieces yet. So go check her out as well. She's relatively new to the Flosstube, even though she's been doing the backing boards for a while. Stitchy Things, her channel is great. I think I might have enabled her to go get the Discovery of Witches pattern. She also does some book talk in her pieces. She makes really pretty project bags. And I think she's stitching The Bookshelf by Little House Needleworks, which is one that I want to stitch one day. So it's making me want to do that too. Lots of good enabling on her channel as well. And then finally, Alexis My Amazing World. I freaking love Alexis and Kia, her wife. They're great. Love them. They just put out a new video, and it is well worth the watch if you haven't gone and checked it out yet. She's got a really lengthy haul section thanks to StitchCon, and I was making a lot of notes. Yeah, she's awesome. She inspired me to buy more things last night, and I'm loving the messages that go back and forth. So thanks, Alexis. So I have some accounts that I wanted to recommend to you that did not shout me out, but that I've been watching. Marumi Crafts. She has about 2 videos out right now. She has gorgeous stitching, and she's also a designer. Like, her designs are really cool. They're inspired by Persian textiles, which is super fun, and I need to pick one up so I can actually stitch one. She's also a diamond painter, so she has some really cool stuff with that, and go send her some love, and so she continues to make videos, because I really enjoy watching her. I think she's a very calming presence. Like, I like her style, okay? Betsy Klager, Alexis told me to go watch her, and I'm obsessed. She also has a tuxedo cat, so hey, same. Although Fergus is sleeping somewhere else right now, so he's not making a Flosstube debut today. But her channel is great. She's so bubbly. Like, I just want to be her best friend. I really do. And I've been binge watching all of her videos recently. Carla Rolodex Stitches, I am so late to the game on your channel, but I absolutely love you. I've also been binging her video. I've been watching a lot of Flosstube, okay? It's happening, all right? So loving Carla's channel. Kirsten at 23 Flavors of Stitching. I've been watching her for a really, really long time, and I love her. She's so sweet, and she does a lot of Stitch With Me videos, which I find really great when I want to be really productive with my stitching. it's almost like her video holds me accountable and I can like look up and see her progress and just listen to her talk. And it's a good time. And her stitching is really lovely. I think she just finished the Silver Creek Samplers. I don't know the name of the pattern, but it's the one with the woman kneeling at the graveside. It's so pretty. I really want to stitch that at some point too. Stitchy Friends, I've been loving their channel. They've got some great projects going. They're working on the Scissor Sampler by Tell and Emblem, which is one that I really want to stitch, that I just bought the pattern, and I have all of the materials on their way to me right now. And I believe Sarah is stitching Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut on this gorgeous gray fabric, which is making me really want to stitch mine. Although I'm telling myself I've got to wait until the autumn season to start that one, but it's a really cool looking sampler and I'm really excited to see it. And I love watching their channel. And finally, Milka at Mega Stitches. I've been watching her videos as well, and she is so kind and so fast to respond to any comments on her YouTube channel. She's great. She's doing, in one of her older videos, I've lost track of when these videos were posted because I've watched so much Flosstube, but in one of her videos, she started the Engravers chart by Hello from Liz Matthews, which is such a cool piece, and she's going to do it like a biblical scrolls, which are awesome, which is an awesome idea for a finish for that piece, and it's making me want to stitch that one too. So yeah, that's all the Flosstube that I've been watching recently, and if you have any other Flosstubers you'd like me to check out, I'm happy to do it. In addition to watching all of my regular people, like my Stitchy Twin and Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World and Stitches by Shelby and the Stitchy Reader and all of the people. So like I have my regulars, but I'm also looking, and Tiger Lily Designs, of course. She has her regular Friday update that I absolutely love watching. Yeah, so that's all the Flosstube I've been watching. I do have a couple books to share with you, but if you're not interested in book talk, I will leave you here. So thank you guys for stopping by and spending a little bit of time with me, and I will see you next time. If you're interested in books, however, I've got a doozy of a recommendation for you today. So I have read Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Holy crap, was this book good. And I knew it was going to be good. I knew I was going to like it. I've read other books by Taylor Jenkins Reid before. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is in my like top 10 books ever. I absolutely love that book. And I love her style. Like her writing style is so good. So this book follows a fictional band, and it's the story of how they got together and how they broke up. The band came of age in like the 70s, 60s, 70s, but it's told interview style from them in the present day, like in the 2010s. So they're all older and looking back on it and recounting their experiences. It's so good. I cried at the end. I highly recommend the audiobook for this one because they had each character read by a different narrator. So it sounded like you were just listening to interviews, which is really cool. And I think the whole cast of characters in audiobook reading is fantastic. So go check that book out if you haven't yet. I am about to start Malibu Rising, which is the last book that I've been recommended of hers to read. And I'm really, really excited to start it. I can't wait. She's got to be one of my favorite authors by now. So good. And then I also read The Drums of Autumn, which is the fourth book in the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. And I love Drums of Autumn. You get a lot of Brie and Roger. I'm not going to go too into it because I don't want to spoil the series for you if you haven't read it yet, but I much prefer this to Voyager. Voyager is one of my least favorite in the series so far, and this is the furthest that I've read into the series at this point. So all of the previous books, including Drums of Autumn, I've read before, so these are rereads for me, but I have not read any further into the series before, so when I pick up The Fiery Cross, it will be my first time reading it. I'm weird, and I've been putting off reading the Outlander books because I love the series so much that when the show ends, I knew I was going to need new material and like still like live through Jamie and Claire, and so I've been holding off on reading it, but I finally decided that I'm going to finish the series, I think, at least through where the show is gone. I haven't decided past that point, so The Fiery Cross is next on my list, and I will be picking that up to read in between getting some of my other audiobooks from my library app. So that's it I have for books. That's all I have for books for you today. I've got some more that I'm currently reading or that I'll be talking about next time. So thank you guys for spending some time with me today. Let me know about those LNSs in the Phoenix area, or any other things you want me to check out in the Phoenix area. I'm happy to do so. I don't get to go there very often to visit family, so I'm super pumped. So thank you guys for joining me today. I will see you in my next video, which might be a little early or a little late, depending on if I film before or after I'm back from Arizona. Yeah, so bye guys. I will see you next time. Happy stitching.